Greetings and welcome once again to One Love Center for Spiritual Living. I'm Reverend Rodney Gittens, and I'm so glad to be here with you all. Again, thank you for joining in, and I welcome you. And just knowing that today's celebration, we are talking about love. We are wonderfully talking about the turbulence of love, if you find any turbulence in your life. However, we're going to start as usual with our opening song. Choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. Not me. Oh, yes, me. However, you are as well. So, as you're choosing what heaven looks like and feels like for you, just remember that you're not alone. What you choose for yourself, you're actually choosing for all because we're all one. And if you feel so inspired, feel free to type what you're choosing into the comments, and it will be prayed on. It will be used for the opening prayer as well. So here we go. Choosing heaven today. Yes, choosing heaven. What a wonderful opportunity each and every day to make a choice, and wonderful choice to make. So at this time, it's time for our welcome to One Love Center. Welcome, and we are on a mission. You are welcome to join us on this mission. And our mission is to provide a stable and welcoming community for all who choose to grow, who use to learn, practice, grow, and play in the unfolding of the understanding of spiritual principles and spiritual living. We welcome you to join us with that and join us in the vision. We see the vision as a sacred environment where spiritual living flourishes through the continual growth and development of learning and the application of spiritual principles. One Love Center practices compassion in service, love in action, and joyous, prosperous giving in the community. Our community has been lovingly created as a place of fellowship, meditation, prayer, sacred and healing service, musical celebration, classes, workshops, and spiritual film. And we welcome each and every one of you, those who have continued to participate with us over the years, anybody who's watching this for the first time, we welcome you and we recognize the splendor of the infinite divine spirit that is you. And please know that we support you in being the best that you choose to be in this glorious life. And we thank you for celebrating spirit with us today. Welcome to a place where love grows. Welcome to One Love Center for Spiritual Living. Thank you. And at this time, we're going to have our opening prayer, our evocation. Okay. And I believe I will be doing the evocation. And so I invite you to join me as we go even deeper within, as we go deeper and into that higher realm of consciousness, as I like to always say, grand rising consciousness. And so knowing that there's only one life, that life is God's life, the life of the Creator, whatever name you choose to use, Yahweh, or Buddha, Allah, whatever name for that supreme presence that's created everything out of itself. That right where it is, I know that I am, and right where I am, it is, and each and every one is. I am knowing that's where our practitioners are. We reside in a higher consciousness, Lita and Ellen, and all practitioners of truth everywhere, regardless of religion, and everyone is of the one mind that knows all, sees all, and creates everything from itself. So I am knowing that is what's happening right here at One Love Center for Spiritual Living, a divine creation from the mind of the Creator. I am knowing that throughout all these years, throughout all these moments, and that for so many people, that there has been a common thread of one love. That one love is that we find ourselves ready and available through this power of love to provide all that is necessary for each and every one. And so I'm knowing there is something that is happening for each and every one who watches today's broadcast. So I bless this wonderful opportunity to not only go within, but to reach a higher heights of conscious awareness. That there is something in the music or something in the conversation or something that's being shared in the comments that is going to make a big difference for people's lives today or whenever they watch this. I am knowing that right and perfect words and thoughts and ideas are being channeled and selected and shared by myself and by Lita Perez. I am knowing that everything going on behind the scenes, so wonderfully orchestrated by Ellen and Lita, that it all makes a wonderful difference, a wonderful opportunity, a wonderful possibility for each one to grow and learn and to move forward in their understanding of spiritual principles and spiritual living. So I am allowing all of this to take place, not standing in the way, standing up, creating a deeper understanding of the purpose in the world, of my purpose and the purpose of each and every one, to support each other in love. And regardless of our talk for today, the turbulence that we may find in love, we know that there is smooth sailing, smooth flying ahead. And we're going to talk about how that gets to happen. And so I know this is already done in the mind of the divine. Yeah, we get to lovingly play it out. And so I release this word to the perfect action of the law, knowing that, yes, indeed, it is done. With gratitude, I release it. Let it be the good that it unfolds to be right here, right now. And I affirm it. And you can join me in affirming it by saying, and so it is, right here, right now. And now it is. Peace and blessings. Again, welcome. Yes.
Hello, everyone. Ellen Suazo here. And what you just heard, that was evocation, invoking the spirit within you. That's a form of prayer that we do here at Centers for Spiritual Living. And as we want to remind you that in order for you to get prayed out or to get your whatever you're going through, we have here at One Love Center professionals, prayer professionals, ready, willing, and able to remind you that the Spirit is full of power, charge, and already within you for your immediate use. And what you need to do is you need to send the email at onelovecenter.org. And remember that all your prayers are kept in stricted confidence. So you don't have to worry about anyone knowing about your prayers, but you must send your prayers. And so we'll send it back to Reverend Rodney and Lita.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ellen. And Ellen is one of those prayer professionals. She is a licensed practitioner as well as Lita Perez. So you send in your prayer requests by email. And please note they are in the best of hands because it's in the best of mind and the best of heart. So thank you so much. So we're going to get started with our conversation. I'm also going to invite Lita Perez, our newest practitioner. And just know that, yeah, we enjoy doing, we love what we're doing, we have a good time what we're doing, and she's going to be with us in just a moment. Don't you worry. All right, so we're talking about the turbulence of love. Turbulence, it shows up, it can happen. It can happen in any of our lives at any moment. Turbulence shows up anyway. So anyway, as you can see, Lita Perez has joined us, and with that big wonderful smile, and yeah. So we're going to talk about the turbulence of love. Now, I want to mention that anybody watching can join us at any time, even when this broadcast is over. You can put comments in, and we'll be watching, and we'll respond. So anyway, the turbulence of love. I mean, I know for myself, I never felt that there should be or could be or would be turbulence when it came to love. I thought it was supposed to be smooth sailing, all the way through. And if it didn't feel like that, I figured, there's something wrong with everybody else. It doesn't feel loving to me, And what I've come to understand in this teaching is that love is ever present, everywhere, all the time. That doesn't mean that things can get upset, that the barrel can spill over, and things can fall out. Love is still present. However, in the midst of that, things might get a little topsy turvy. Did you want to speak to anything about that before we move forward, Lita?
Well, I think about all month reading about love and how it is interpreted in your life and in all things that you do, how incredible it is that we're able to find love in some of the most difficult situations. I know that I recently visited a very dear friend in the hospital, and trying to question, why is this happening? But even in that turmoil, in that turbulence that she was going through, I know that there's love there. And focusing on love really helps you expand even a little bit more.
Absolutely. And the thing that what we're putting out here right now is that everything is a field of love. It's the background, it's the foundation, it's our environment, our atmosphere. Love is everywhere at all times.
Yes.
And there can be turbulent times even within this field of love. So I wouldn't say that love can be turbulent. I don't want to say that. I can say that my reaction in the love field, there can be turbulence there. There can be turbulence when I'm going through what we call in this teaching moments of a belief in separation, meaning that I am all of a sudden not feeling in alignment with love. So I'm in love and I'm experiencing turbulence. It's like when we're flying in a plane. The plane is in the sky and it's doing what it's doing, and it hits turbulence. The plane itself is not turbulent. It gets into the turbulence, and it's temporary. I was reading up on that, and somebody had said nobody ever died from turbulence, and generally that's true. People might get hurt from the like if there's heavy turbulence, maybe they might have a heart attack, or maybe they might get so bruised or something, or but generally it's not that serious. It feels serious, and in our lives, even though it may last a very short while, it seems very serious. Like, how am I going to survive this turbulence going on in my love life, or the love with my family or coworkers or whatever, or strangers, because we're practicing love everywhere we go, right, everybody? And so even people who are strangers, who are just friends we haven't met yet, turbulence can happen there as well. So it's important that we look at the things that go on with our thinking about what's going on. Does that make sense?
It makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Take time to take a step back and look at it a little longer.
Right. And, and if you want to get biblical about it, when the story about Jesus with his disciples and they're crossing the sea, and things would get a little rough, there was some turbulent seas. I think that's just a famous story where the disciples are like, "Oh, master, hey, sit down, chill out. You're rocking the boat. It's getting, things are crazy here. What are we going to do?" And what did Jesus say? Leader, that? That he's
that story. Yes. Really it was about just have faith.
Have
faith and step out into faith.
Absolutely.
The calmness of the turbulence within.
And that's the word, calmness. He said, "Peace, be still."
Peace, be
still.
He
said, "Relax. All is well. Peace."
Well.
Two things, peace and be still. and based on the faith that we're going to get to the other side. Things might seem a little rocky now, but we're gonna get there. And so what happens? It's like pressing a reset button. We got to start anew. I was like, okay, where was I? Everything was calm. I had the appearance of a storm, in my mind or in what's going on in my life. What do I have to do? Look, have faith that all. And once we have faith, just like we have peace, just like we have love. With the faith, what the question is, how much are you going to use? You've got 100% faith. How much do we use in moments that of turbulence? That we're gonna get through it. We'll be all right. Now, we're gonna get into some quotes. We're gonna have a discussion about that. And before we do, I just want to remind everybody that when I mentioned that word separation, that was moments when I am separating in my thought that the quote, God and I are one.
Mm.
That which has created me, for some reason has left me on my own. No, that's not the truth. We just, for whatever reason in that moment, think that. We may not even fully believe it, but because we're thinking it, we begin to have that experience of it.
Mm.
And so to have that faith that Lita mentioned, we have to do a reset and like, okay, wait a minute. Let me get back to the beginning. In the
Right.
beginning, God. In the beginning, the Creator created everything out of itself, and that includes me. So therefore, I'm not separate from that which created me. And then we can move forward based on that faith. I can be at peace. I can be still.
Mm.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. Thank you for well, how awesome. Why don't you introduce that to it for us?
Sure. Thank you. Beginning anew is an opportunity for us to recall some regret from earlier in the week and undo it. Loving speech is crucial. We want to heal the community, not harm it. We speak frankly, but we do not want to be destructive. And that's from Thich Nhat Hanh in Teachings on Love, page 14.
Any comment?
Beginning anew, poses a question that I'd love to also pose to our viewers here is in what way can you practice beginning anew in your relationship this week and restarting a relationship that maybe was a little bit turbulent for you or just didn't start off right? In what ways can you practice that? And that's just going within and again taking that step out in faith and going into the calmness of who both of you really are. So that's how I interpret it for me. But how would you interpret it, Reverend Rodney?
Well, the main thing is not letting those temporary thoughts of the storm or the turbulence determine or dictate what my responses are going to be.
Right.
So loving speech is crucial. That means in the midst of a storm, I still need to speak lovingly. Like Jesus didn't say, "What's wrong with you guys? What are you, crazy? Don't you know who I am? Everything's going to be okay." No, he did loving speech. He was like, "Peace, be still." It's okay. Heal the community, not harm it, not act out of fear, not act out of doubt, not act out of shame or blame. And so there you go. Where in your life could a small shift in language, choosing words that heal rather than harm, make the greatest difference? Thank you for bringing that up. And ask yourself, what if you wanted somebody to use loving language with you in the midst of a storm instead of yelling and demeaning or damning or blaming or shaming, any of those? It's like, well, wait a minute. Most of the time, we would love even a small shift.
Right.
would make a big difference. Yeah.
Now, I know how challenging that can be in the moment. You're in that moment right there and trying to deal with whatever situation it might be. It could be challenging to see, how softening some words can be. I had that experience with coaching one of our team members this past week. And if you can have empathy for where they are and meet them where they are, then you're able to choose the words that would be more accepting and more honoring of that person, that you see that there's something within them that might be struggling, but that you can be more understanding by meeting them, like I said, where they are in that space. And then the words come flowing. The words will flow because now you're in basically their shoes of what is happening with them. I love this. What can help us stay centered? Yeah, what can help you stay centered in that moment? That's a great question. Thank you, Ellen.
Oh, I thought you were going to answer that. Well, I have an answer for that as well.
Go ahead.
Well, first of all, you know what we do. We are trained prayer professionals. And so you can always contact someone who can assist you to get back on center. Sometimes things happen in the moment. You don't have time to pick up the phone and dial and like, I need help. I'm going through something. You know, in that moment, is a recognition that you need help, that I need help. And so as a story, the Bible story, it's just like, peace, be still. You know, let that, if you don't know what to do, and this I learned a long time. If you don't know what to do, don't do anything. That means don't say anything, don't act out on those temporary feelings. Because in the moment, you know, we've got adrenaline going through our system. You know, we're in fight or flight, and we want to make something happen to alleviate us from what's happening. And most of the time, it's fear. You know, most of the time, our greatest fear is very well disguised. You know, Ellen says, taking a deep breath. Absolutely. We take a deep breath. And what happens when you take a deep breath is a chemical thing going on. We are oxygenating our brain, because when we're fearful, when we're uptight and we're going through all of that, we're actually shutting off more blood and oxygen to the brain. And because that blood and oxygen is more for our fight or flight. So we're physically getting ready to do something. But when we take a breath, when we relax, we're able to allow more oxygen to go to the brain so we can think more clearly.
Right. You know? Never make a decision based in the midst of a chaos. You know, it's bringing yourself back and bring yourself within. Yeah.
So we have to have, absolutely, we have to have internal dialogue. And to do that, we need to like take a breath first, because otherwise it's all going to be action mode, you know. And again, we don't want to be destructive. We don't want to have to feel like physically is the only way to get through it. You know, we might need to. However, we still have that option. So we get to think and control our feelings by thinking correctly. Okay.
Right.
So yeah, thank you everybody for that. And here it is. It says you cannot solve a problem with the same mind that created it. So when we're in a turbulent situation, when you're finding yourself maybe in a corner, you're backed into a corner, you know, and you don't know what to do, and you're like, well, wait a minute, how did I get here in the first place? You know, and we're not necessarily able to use the same faculty that put us in that corner in the first place. So here it says, when faced with a challenge, what can help you shift your mindset to see new possibilities? You know, and sometimes if you paint yourself into you're going to have to paint yourself out, meaning walk over the paint and paint yourself back out, paint behind your steps. However, the next opportunity, you know, whenever we go through things, if we don't learn how we got into the first place, it's going to come back. Right?
You know,
we're going to revisit.
You're revisiting the same problem. You're thinking the same way you've always thought is going to bring you exactly the same results. So, you know, really stepping away from that. And you can't be in that same mindset and try to solve the challenge that is going through you at the moment. We'd love to hear from our guests who are out there watching us. Please let us know what you do when you're faced with a challenge. And if you're watching this recording, write it in there, because you can still respond. We'd love to hear from you. What helps you shift your mindset? What do you do to shift your mindset on what can be possible, what can be different, how it can change, how can it improve, how can you be better? So let us know. We'd love to hear from you.
And it is about responding better, responding from a higher sense of awareness. How do they say, take the high road? You know, because it's a higher use of the same power and energy. So we can use that power and energy in a positive way, or, you know, as many as you know, I'm speaking to everyone, that is very possible that we could. People that you may know go through the same thing over and over again, seem like they're not learning the lesson. You know,
I love what Ellen says here. What about saying, I need a moment, I'll get back to you.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to say, right now is not the best time for me to respond. So give me a moment and I'll be able to respond a lot more effectively.
And so what that means, folks, is we have to become aware of our thoughts and our actions, and if we're responding or just reacting. And because there's a previous quote, it was like, we don't want destruction, we don't want harm. So we have to really be honest a lot of times and like, am I creating harm or am I working in the healing?
Yeah. Am I contributing to the angst of it all, or am I lifting it up?
Right. So that means we have to be honest, really honest, and not look to blame another person for what's happening in our lives. Yeah, there may be somebody contributing, but we at all times have a choice. Okay. And that choice is, let me use a different mindset here. Okay. I'm not going to, it's like, yeah, I might need a brainwashing. I might find that, what, my way of doing it just keep making trouble,
Right. Same mindset is just creating even more. Yes.
Why does turbulence follow me everywhere I go? Well, it doesn't. It usually precedes us. It's like it's ready. You fly into it. We have to change course. That's what they do. They're like, hey, there's turbulence ahead. We're going to go over it, or we're going to go around it. And sometimes they have to go through it because it might be worse moving in another direction.
Reverend Rodney, isn't that true that we go, why is this always happening to me? Why is this always happening just to me? So we have to look, if it is happening to me, then I have to look within me to say, what am I contributing to this that is coming into my life? What is the lesson here I need to learn? How can I change my words to really change the outcome? So true.
And we have to ask ourselves that even if there's nothing so-called wrong, we can always check in with ourselves and just look at the situation as best we can from a different point of view.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
So
I want to say thank you, Ellen. She had another comment, and you can converse on the side too with in the comments.
Yes, with Ellen. Yeah, thank you so much for all your contributions. Remember to be honest and compassionate with yourself when you fail to not react. That's wonderful advice. Thank you so much. And again, Ellen is one of our practitioners here. She's marvelous when it comes to greater understanding and helping you get through whatever it is you're going through. She will definitely lead you that way. Thank you so much, Ellen.
And it's important that we do that we check in with ourselves. Now, most times we can only do but so much work from working with ourselves. And we have to have people in our lives. So, yes, I'm saying use us, use the practitioners, but, have somebody in your life that you can confide in, that you can trust, that you can be vulnerable with. Because that's really the strength of love, is being vulnerable enough to do that with yourself, to be compassionate with yourself, to be loving with yourself. And that's going to attract somebody else who's going to recognize that and be the same with you. Okay. So we always have that opportunity to find within ourselves that which we are seeking from another. Okay. And that's the compassion. That's the care. That's the love. Okay. And when people see that we love ourselves, that kind of like gives them permission to not only love themselves, but to share themselves in that atmosphere of love. And that's what we do. That's really what love is. Sharing ourselves, the best of ourselves in that atmosphere of love. And when there's turbulence that comes in, when we're feeling like we're separate and apart, and we never use those words, we might say, well, God left me, or whatever. We want to blame something outside of ourselves, for what we're feeling on the inside. Yeah. So anyway, let's bring up another quote.
Okay. Let's see where we are. Here we are. Go ahead and read that one.
Yes, please.
Okay. We outwardly experience our states of consciousness, but since the apparent without is merely a reflection from within, which is its cause, what we most need to do is to start with the simple proposition of the creative power of thought from the inner recognition. Know that circumstances are formed and held in place. How would you like to respond to that?
Well, I'll go first.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, basically, it's saying as within, so without. It's
Mhm.
like there's nothing that's going to be happening in your life, that is not starting with you as a creator,
Right.
or a co-creator, if you want to put it that way.
Mhm.
It's it's only a reflection of what's going on the inside. So if we're experiencing turbulence in our lives on the outside, we have to do some deep diving sometimes. It's not necessarily going to be on the surface. If I'm angry about something that's going on and it's just creating a whole mess, as Ellen said, maybe we can just stop for a moment,
Mhm.
and take a look at it and take ownership of our own experience, of our own feelings. I'm like, well, wait a minute. Nobody made me feel that way. Nobody can make me feel any way. All right. So the creative power of thought, my thought, okay, our thought
Mhm.
is going to create the circumstance that shows up. Now, I will say this: a lot of us will take credit for the great things that happen, but the not so nice things, somebody else did it.
Right.
Somebody else made me feel that way.
Right. Right. So
And
true.
here's a question. When you think about your current life circumstances, what inner thoughts or beliefs might be reflected in them? So that means, you know what? As we mentioned earlier, take
Right.
a breath and reflect. You're like, wait a minute, what was I thinking? Not to beat yourself up, and not to just blame yourself into submission, but just honestly, like, well, what were my thoughts?
Mhm. Mhm.
And we get to own them because they're ours.
Exactly.
And I don't care if somebody else said it first and I heard it and then I adopted it.
Mm.
Listen, I got to tell you, I grew up thinking that, I wasn't all of that. I never felt like I was
Mm.
in my environment, in my atmosphere. I used to hear you stupid. Oh, you never amount to anything. And, you do things backwards and upside down. And I just accepted it. I believed it. I
Mm.
thought, this is who I am. Okay. And life was turbulent a lot of times as a child, and I mean, listen, I didn't have anybody to have this kind of conversation with me. Well, Rodney, why don't you take a look on your thoughts? No, that never came up. It was, if I did something that, if I, let's say I broke a lamp, well, you're so clumsy. Well, okay, I'm clumsy.
Mm.
There was never a conversation about, well, maybe watch where you're walking, or something like that. It was just, you're clumsy, and so there was no way for me to step back and look at, well, I was focusing on something else and I bumped into that.
Right.
No, it was never a conversation with myself like that, or anybody else had with me. Okay. It took of course, many years into adulthood that I began to differentiate about what happened and what was my thought
Mhm.
behind what happened. Because most of the time, I didn't even hear that thought. I didn't, wasn't paying attention to a thought that preceded an action.
Yeah. I
Okay,
like
go
I
ahead.
like this question here. When have you noticed times when a change in your thinking directly shifted your outer experience? And that certainly had happened with me, where I felt like you were saying, feeling less than, feeling inadequate,
Yeah.
a feeling of unworthiness. And growing up, I'm not worthy to receive you was always a rote a routine in service. And I realized one day that I felt a lot more worthy of myself and worthy of good things, and that things started changing for me. That I started seeing, and that change not just within myself, but even outwardly. I'm seeing things differently. Things that what is that quote by uh, oh gosh, Planck? When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change.
Yeah.
And so all those things that I was looking at, which used to be in this negative tone, suddenly had this bright light upon it. And I went, wow, what a great opportunity for me to learn something more about this particular situation. So change your thinking, change your life is a great mantra. And it's such a powerful truth that I was able to shift a few things in my thoughts that me realize the good had always been there. It had
Always.
always been there.
Always there. Yeah. And that's the thing. I mean, that's what Ernest Holmes teaches, science of mind. That's this teaching is change your thinking, change your life. Change your thinking, and you'll have less turmoil, or at least, if nothing else, you'll be able to get through that turmoil unscathed.
Yes.
Okay? You won't be bouncing around all over the place, getting into fights or getting into conflict when you can, as Ellen said, maybe we could just take a breath,
And it's not to say that you're always, that life is going to be carefree, but that you'll be able to handle those situations when they do come up. So when you are in turbulence, you can better react or better understand and move forward a lot easier. But things will happen, and it's not what happens to you. It is how you react to it, right?
Awesome. That's right. Well, thank you. That's why you're a practitioner. Hey, we have another quote, I believe.
Oh, I think we do. Let's look at that.
And it says, the great law of the universe is this, that you think in your mind will produce in your experience, as within, so without. And that's by Emmett Fox, Sermon on the Mount.
I love this.
And it's just another way of saying, change your thinking, change your life. It's like what you think in your mind, which means what, folks? Pay attention to what's going on between your ears. Listen. So as we heard earlier, sometimes, folks will speak without pausing.
Right.
Whatever comes up, boom, it comes out. And that can create
that.
that can create instant turbulence. Because folks may not be able to receive a message like that. So many times. Oh, I also want to add that at all times, we're using the law of the universe. At all times. We're never not using the law. Okay? That what we think produces our experience. It's the microcosm of the macro, of the creator that has created each and every one of us out of itself. And therefore, we too have that creative ability. It's co-creative. We have the ability of thought. Now, we don't physically make anything happen. That's the law that does that. However, we have love of our heart, the love in our heart. We have the mind.
Yes.
And together we use that, preferably a loving thought, into the law that creates it into our experience. So here's the message, folks. If there are things going on in your life that don't feel loving, we get to take it back to what Ellen said. You got to get back to the center, our center of truth, our center of love, our center of peace, our center of joy. And okay, what would I rather experience right now instead of what just showed up? We can do that. We have choice. We're choosing heaven.
We're choosing heaven. Yes, of course. That's wonderful.
Nobody believes that we're going to have turbulence in heaven. Right. Yeah.
All right.
So was there anything else to go along with that?
You know what? I'm really enjoying that this month was about love. Everyone thinks about doing love in February because it's the love month. But I was really enjoying the passages and the daily writings in our Science of Mind magazine. And for those of you who don't get that, haven't subscribed yet, that's a great opportunity. Definitely look that up, Science of Mind magazine. I get it every month. And it really, in reading all these daily inspirations, I found myself immersed in more loving acts and more loving words and more loving understanding. So when anyone would come to me and they were in strife and they were, I said, well, let's look at that. I really had an opportunity to support where they were, but to show them and redirect where this experience that they're going through is not, it's for them to to work on themselves a little bit more. So I'm very grateful for this month, this past month, and having all the love poured into me and being able to pour it out as well.
And so here's another message, folks.
Hmm.
Because, not if, because you are watching this, there's something here that you needed to hear. There's
Hmm.
something you need to feel. Even if you doubt it, even if you question it, that's quite fine.
Hmm.
However, it comes up for a reason. So that means look further, look deeper, ask, put it into our comment, send us an email like, wait a minute, what did you mean? Or I don't believe that. And then let us know what you think and believe, and let's converse about that.
Absolutely.
Because this is coming up for you, or maybe somebody which means share it. Like, if somebody comes like, you know what, they need to hear this, send it to them by YouTube or Facebook or wherever means necessary. And like, so that way, maybe you don't have to say it to them. They can watch it and get it, and if somebody sends this to you, it's for a good reason. Okay. So love yourself enough to be open to reflect on what's going on between your ears in your mind.
Yes.
Don't beat yourself up if you find something you don't like. That's good. So then you can change it, right? If you're like, you know what? Why do they get upset when I say that? Okay, so maybe it's not their fault. And
Right.
it doesn't matter if there is a fault.
Right.
The main thing is you get to look at it and you get to explore yourself. And it's going to take you on a wonderful, wonderful opportunity. I titled this, Fasten Your Seatbelt, You're In for the Ride of Your Love Life.
Right.
Because we are going to go through a roller coaster of emotions and feelings. It's not the love, it's our reaction to things that happen. So it's going to feel like, whoa, I don't have a handle on it. I can't control it. You're not supposed to. We're supposed to be fastened in, trust, and like Lita had talked about, have the faith when things seem rocky. Okay, just make sure your seatbelt of love and faith is fastened. Positive faith, not the faith that you're going to fall out. That you're going to fall out of love. No, the faith that you're going to be more grounded in love. So it's a positive faith that what, peace be still, all is well. All right, so I think it's time to make all of this firm in our minds, in our heart, and our soul, from the spirit of it all. So we have affirmations.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. So as we like to do, we like to take in a breath. We're going to do it twice. Take in a breath and then do the affirmation, and then take another breath and do the same affirmation again. And then we move on to the next one. And I'll go first.
Okay.
So I invite each one to do just that. Take a breath. It is so that God's love is my love, and my love is resilient. One more time. Take a breath. It is so that God's love is my love, and my love is resilient.
Let's take another breath. It is so that I use love to be bold, courageous, and daring to see what my positive changes of heart and mind create. I love that. Let's take another breath. It is so that I use love to be bold, courageous, and daring to see what my positive changes of heart and mind create.
So I invite each one to breathe in, to exhale. It is so that I lovingly become responsible for discerning what I am giving the law to work with on my behalf. Let's use another breath. Breathe in. It is so that I lovingly become responsible for discerning what I am giving the law to work with on my behalf. It is so. And so it is. And now it is.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I'm going to invite Lita to come back in just a moment,
Mhm.
right after a word from our spirit. And join me in this grounding prayer, grounding this talk, making it so firm, entrenched in our being, because there's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is my life, now the life of each and every one. Knowing that love is always the answer, that regardless of what's going on the inside, on the outside, going on around, whether you call it turbulence or crisis or whatever, it doesn't matter. It's temporary. But love is eternal. I am knowing that each and every one of us is resting and residing and flying on the wings of love. And yes, turbulence could be encountered. However, it's temporary. And it means very little to the outside of us. It's always on the outside, because regardless of whether we recognize it or not, there's only one. And even in our minds and our hearts and our soul, it is the spirit that is the one mind, the one spirit, the one life that is God's life, can never be separated, can never be apart from it. Even in moments when we might think so, or even might believe so, that's not the truth. We cannot be apart from the one that created us. So I am knowing that with this truth, with this awareness, that love is ever present in all of our affairs, in our affairs of the heart, in our romantic views, our romantic lives, that it's only love that has brought us together and that keeps us together. That love is stronger than any turbulence that might occur. And so the focus is always on the love. When it comes to our vehicles, our bodies, our holy temple, as when Jesus walked into the temple and there are things that seem to be amiss, it's like, whoa, wait a minute, this can't happen. No, we got to get right. We got to get right with the one. We have to remove all these things that are unlike our holiness. Okay, we know that within us is the pure vibration of love, and that is super healthy. And we return to that understanding. We live from that understanding of vibrant health, vibrant love, vibrant beingness, perfect as is. And so I am knowing that is true as well in our financial affairs, that yes, I know that acts of love are in receiving that which supports us, which sponsors us, that allows us to participate more in being who we are here to be. And that includes receiving money, receiving anything and everything that makes life worth living and giving for the greater good, not only of ourselves, but for why we're here. It's for each and every one to provide from our purpose of being. And I know that, yes, there are times when we run into turbulence, when there is strife, when there is conflict, where there is war, and we know that the answer is always love. Love levels the playing field. Love makes the plane ride smooth. Makes the ocean going. It quiets the sea and the ocean. It's peace. Be still. Take a breath. So I am knowing with this awareness of love that each and every one of us are now empowered to use love to get through any turbulence, to get through any rough rides. I know that those are temporary. Even a roller coaster ride, we step into it and we strap in, and then we go for a ride, and then it stops, and we get off and return to the peace within, and it shows up on the outside. And so I'm knowing that this word spoken into the law of divine right action is the truth for each and every one. Yes. We get to have the ride of our lives strapped in with faith and trust and love. And so I know, therefore, this word is most certainly returning full to overflowing. And so I release this word, knowing that the Lord's got it. It is done now and continually in every moment. And I simply affirm it by knowing that it is so. And I say, and so it is, and now it is. Thank you, beloveds.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful. And so that was a treatment, in case that you did not know, in case this is your first time in One Love Center. But that treatment is a 5-step that we do. We do a recognition that there's only one God. We do I become one with that one, unification. Then we claim the truth of who we are, of who we truly are. We give thanks for recognizing who we are, and then we release it to the Lord. We allow the Lord to do its thing. And it's so powerful. I could not have been here without prayer. So please make sure that you use us, like Reverend Rodney said. Use us. We are professional prayer professionals, ready, willing, and able to remind you that Spirit is full of power, charge, and already within you for your immediate use. So send your requests at onelovecenter.org, and we will be praying for you for 7 days. If we don't hear from you after 7 days, we will stop praying. Yet, if you feel that you still want us to, you're still desiring us to continue to pray for that situation or that condition, make sure that you reach out back to us, and we'll be more than happy to pray for that situation or condition. And remember, prayers are strictly confidential. None of us know anything about that prayer, just the person that prays for that situation of yours. So we are waiting for your prayers, and we'll love to pray for you. If you're looking to have deeper, more time with one of us, you can have a practitioner session with either one of us. Lita, me, Reverend Rodney, Reverend Hydra. And if for some reason you don't feel called to do it with any of us, we're here to help you find the right person for you so it can support you. Okay, and remember, you're not here to do this by yourself. And so now we'll have the opportunity to say thank you for your generosity. Thank you for sending your love donations to us via PayPal at onelovecenter.org. You click on the donate button, and it will take you through the process of sending your donations. Remember that you can set that to automatically send the donations to One Love Center every month, every week, whichever way you like to do it. So you don't even have to think about it. It's a fun way to do it. You automatically activating the law of circulation in your life because you don't even think about it. You know it's there. So and remember to always give from a place of love, of joy, and abundance. That is so important, to give from a place of abundance, because if you're giving from a place of lack and worry, oh my God, that's not a good thing. Please don't do it. Don't give. It's best that you don't give. But remember, it's not about the amount. Yet we are open to receive thousands of dollars. Remember that. So, but you can start with $1. And as your money grows and as your money flows in your life, you can continually increase your giving. You don't have to stay with $1, but you can start with $1. Okay, so now I invite you to do an affirmation of abundance. I'll ask you to put your hands on your heart and think about that amount of money you're giving. You can do it at any time throughout the service. You can do it afterwards. You can do it any time during the week. Remember that. If you feel fed spiritually by One Love Center, please remember to give donations, as we use these donations to continue to do this ministry. So now let's do money as one of the many gifts of spirit is good. As I share my offerings, I know that I'm actively creating a space to receive more gift, more money, and more good. I am grateful for the ability to give and for the good works this gift do in our center and in our world. And now it is, and so it is. Ashe. Thank you.
Thank you, Ellen. Wonderful. Yes, indeed. And speaking truth, that's it. Spirit will always compensate us and support us. Spirit gives 100% of itself. And then we get to decide how much we choose to give. So, speaking of giving, we're looking for support, tech support. We're requesting a member or a friend of a member or somebody who wants to get involved for technical assistance in managing our broadcast. So you can contact us through One Love at onelovecenter.org to be of service. So use your tech skills and send us an email. And, you can also go to our website, onelovecenter.org/events. Either way, send us an email and we'll get back in touch with you and gladly help you to help us. Okay. And we can get into a discussion about that if you need to. We would love to offer this course, this class, Beyond Limits, moving into living beyond your limiting beliefs. If you like, well, I don't have any limiting beliefs. Well, that right there is a limiting belief. So therefore, consider signing up for our class, register for Beyond Limits. Go to our website, onelovecenter.org/events. Or email at onelovecenter.org if you're interested in it. Okay. Also, there's a visioning retreat. Visioning is catching a glimpse of the life that the divine has in store for you, has created for you, and so we want to connect with that truth. Like, why am I here? What is my purpose? All of that you can find out through visioning. It can also be, hey, I got a project coming up. I need some clarity. Use visioning for that. It says we're gathering to nourish our souls, revitalize our vision, and harvest our greater yet to be. And it's coming up Friday, October 3rd. This is really incredible. It's a 3-day virtual event. It's on Zoom, 3 days. And there are going to be 3 sessions a day. And you can donate any amount that you want. This is awesome. I mean, it's priceless. You can't even really put a number on it because of what you get from it. However, you have a choice. You can attend any day, all days. You can, whatever session you want throughout the day, and tax deductible. So please, it made a difference for me, for all of us, because One Love Center came out of visioning itself. So it's facilitated by Ray Jordan, who is a religious science practitioner emeritus, meaning she's been doing this a long time. All right. Also, if you're interested in classes, if you like what you see from Ellen and Lita, and you're like, I want to do what they do, which is what Ellen said to me when I was a practitioner. She says, I want to do what you do. And look at her now. She's doing that and this and so many other great things. But first and foremost, practitioners believe in the power of thought and the presence of the divine in all people, in all situations. So yeah, we're used to taking a breath. We're used to going within and knowing the truth. And we operate on core beliefs that are actually present in all religions. It might sound differently and look differently in different religions. However, we like to get to the spiritual essence. So if you want more information on being a practitioner or training, send us an email, onelovecenter.org. Go to our website and see what it says about practitioners, about our practitioners. So thank you very much. We're going to bring Lita back for our closing words. Thank you so much, Lita Perez.
This is wonderful as always.
Yes. Thank you for being a beautiful presence that you are as well. And Ellen behind the scenes, and she was even on screen. Thank you so much, Ellen. And you can come on too. You have any closing remarks you want to share?
It was beautiful. I'm grateful that I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful to be able to be part of this. And please be inspired and change your life. It's about your life. It's about
Absolutely.
your life.
Yes.
Life changes.
It
Definitely.
certainly is, and this is one of the ways in which we help people, individuals, communities, the world, one day at a time, one moment at a time, one thought at a time. So
Say that part.
we're gonna go into prayer right now. I invite, don't go away. Okay, I'm gonna start. They're gonna jump in the middle, and I'll close it out, unless anyone wants to close it out. However, so I invite each and every one to be in the moment for this benediction, for this closing prayer, knowing that where I am, God is. God showing up as each and every one everywhere. I don't even care if you call it God or it or whatever. It doesn't matter. There's only one. And of that one, I know that, and many have heard that God is love, and God is love. And that love is ever present everywhere in all of our lives, even in the midst of turbulence. God is right here, is right there, is everywhere. Can't escape it. Even if we create that turbulence ourselves, guess what? Oh, He still take a breath. And I pass my word.
It is so good to know that all we must do is take a breath. Take a breath to receive the calmness, the peace, and to remember who you are and whose you are. A simple practice. Take a breath and know that you are God as God. And I pass.
And I am so grateful for the love that is here right now, right here with Reverend Rodney and with Ellen, and the love that one love, aptly named one love, here is giving out and receiving. I'm so grateful for the joy, for the learning, for the growing, for the teaching of Science of Mind and showing us that love is all there is. And I pass back to Reverend Rodney.
And knowing this truth and giving thanks for the words spoken of truth for each and every one to go throughout this week, throughout this day, throughout this week, throughout this month, throughout our lives. Take a pause, take a breath. I have a friend that calls it a sacred pause. And we get to take a look and a listen to our thoughts without judgment, with love. And say, hey, love lives here. Am I using love in this moment and this in every moment? And so with that, we simply release these words, knowing that we are empowered by love every opportunity, every breath. And we release it, this truth, knowing it is already showing up for us in ways that we may not have even expected before. Oh, how powerful it is. And so I let it be with gratitude, thanksgiving, and appreciation, and simply affirm by saying, and so it is, and now it is. We're going to have a wonderful song that's going to remind us to release and be in love. And it's coming up in just a moment.
There was a time in my life, thought I had to do it all for myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient, and I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day. You've got to let it go. Let it all go. And this is what you have to say.
Yes, yes. Only here for love. God is love. Only here for love. Only here for God. And I am just here with the goddesses there. So you know I'm in love. Woo!
That was wonderful. I love that.
Thank you
I
all.
love that song.
We'll see you next week.
See you next week. Bye-bye. And